I think that we need to be more muscular, but we also need to think on what are our strengths and how we can build on those strengths. It is certain that it is much better to count on partners that do like to build relations on the basis of cooperation. But I think that we also need to think in ourselves, in our interests, and to be ready to develop what it may be needed to defend our own interests.
And does that mean changing the very excellent work that Margrethe Vestager did as well, but we need a different set of policies? We need to change how we deal with competition, don't we? Is that one of your remits?
I think that this is one of the challenges, yes. The competition policy was built in a time where the world was pretty different. And now, of course, the globalization went through a much more deeper interdependence between the different partners. But at the same time, in an open economy as the European one, where we want to be an attractive place to invest and to develop our industries and to fabric in Europe, we need to update how we can provide these value chains in an European way. And the competition policy has a lot to say and to do.
And Commissioner, that has, if I can break it down as simply as two remits to it. One, about European companies, and two, about external companies. If I may start off on the former as well. It's time to unshackle European companies, big companies, let them become national champions, let them become European champions. Is that the conversation you're having with the biggest companies in Europe? Let's go for it. Let's create bigger companies so we can compete on the global stage.
I like the way you put this. This is not building lots of national champions, but trying to build European champions and defend European interests also in the economic field and in the industrial field and in the services field. And into that exercise, we need to keep on building and deepening the single market. It doesn't make sense to empower a national champion against another national champion on going through a kind of subsidy race among different member states. But how we can build on these complementarities, how we can facilitate horizontal mergers that ensure that things that can be complementary but build bigger European capacities are in place.
So we're going to cut European regulation for those beleaguered industries, and just to name one, the telecoms industry, for instance.
The telecoms industry is a very interesting place to work on. I think
but they don't make the return on capital at the moment. I had that from a very senior player in telecoms yesterday.
There is an issue on capital access and on the capacity to capitalize these companies. There is an issue on how they have built their capacities based on local or national requirements, and to what extent this fragmentation, not only in terms of the market, but also in terms of the permitting, the access to the spectrum, is something that we should be able to overcome, also thinking about what Ursula von der Leyen calls the 28th regime. To what extent there may be services that could be provided through a single window that could facilitate a much more broader approach and sounder and stronger companies.